Bangalore. This metropolis of 8 million people in southern India is home to actor Shiva Pathak and theatre director Nimi Ravindran. As Sandbox Collective, the duo has been enriching India's independent art scene since 2013.
We are artists turned arts administrators. We are not arts administrators alone, and that also brings in a different kind of perspective.
We've done what we needed, the infrastructure that we didn't have. We wanted it for ourselves, and if it ends up benefiting the larger ecosphere, yeah, then that's great as well.
The collective strives to provide a platform for all those representing feminist, queer and marginalised positions. Shiva Pathak and Nimi Ravindran are very well connected with Bangalore's cultural scene. They know what they can give the city and what the city can give to them.
There are hundreds of theatre companies, musicians, all that comes out of Bangalore. It's a testing ground, you know. Things are possible in Bangalore. Delhi is that place that kind of pushes you to do very big things. But our world also needs very small things, those things on the margins. So I think for something like that, Bangalore is great.
The Gender Bender Festival has developed around these margins. It offers grants and a safe space for artists to present works on gender, sexuality and identity. This event is unique in Asia and has been running successfully since 2015.
We were shocked because the first call went out and we thought we'll probably get like 10 applications, and we got 70 odd applications, and then we realized that there were so many artists who were actually working around the themes of gender.
For Sandip TK, the Gender Bender Festival served as a kind of incubator. His photography about queer dream worlds was well received at home. This summer it can also be seen at the Art Museum in Wolfsburg, Germany.
Gender Bender is a very important turning point in my life as an artist. Everybody goes to that festival and people are curious about what these artists are showing. And it's also give hope to young queer practitioners, because for them, or when I am starting out, for me it is something to look up to. Okay, there is something I can apply for and I can show my work to other people.
To the capital, Delhi now, where Nimi Ravindran is buying flowers for the band Dastan Live. Although Sandbox Collective had no previous experience with music projects, the band knew it wanted the duo as producers. The musicians value the political viewpoints, activism and intensive collaboration that Sandbox Collective stands for.
What we come in as is not just partners who are going to be looking at logistics, but we also actually spend a lot of time with the groups, just brainstorming with them and thinking creatively through their work and what they're trying to do. But it's almost like we're friends and we're actually working for each other, with each other, and that is something that we like to maintain in all the work that we do, because it's not about these hierarchies, it's about relationships.
The 10-member band writes protest songs with lyrics that often quote Indian poets. One such quote earned Dastan Live a complaint from Hindu nationalist forces a few years ago, which resulted in the temporary arrest of the band and Sandbox Collective. They eventually won the legal battle, and the whole ordeal ended up deepening the bond between the artists and producers.
They stood with us like a shield. Even the cops were telling them that, you know, we only want to arrest the performers. Like, you guys were not even on stage, so why are you here? They're like, no, you let them go, we'll be here. So that's why. For me, that moment just gave me the answer to why Sandbox. It's not just about producing arts, it's about believing in the power of arts. And these guys, they do it, and we saw it. And that gave us courage to, you know, do what we wanted to do.
Choreographer Mandeep Raiki also lives in Delhi. His piece, Queen Size, is a statement on intimacy between two men. Gay sex was only recently decriminalised in India. Sandbox Collective finds interesting alternative venues to present the dance piece.
We never really had a reaction that disrupted the performance. We could see people sometimes leave, sometimes in the middle of a fragment. Europe was no different. There were people who were equally uncomfortable. We saw people who couldn't look at the bodies directly, they had to look at the floor. People are the same everywhere. People also have the capacity to transform as they look.
The producer duo generally prefers working behind the scenes rather than standing in the spotlight. Their goal is to bring people together and build sustainable structures.
We tend to form long-term relationships with people in our city, in our country, and elsewhere in the world. Yeah, so that's something that has happened very organically at Sandbox.
Yeah, I would say the word for it, I think, is mostly, I think there's a sense of cross-pollination and cross-collaborations that happens a lot through our projects.
Back in Bangalore, Nimi Ravindran and Shiva Pathak are organising a reading series on the gentrification of their city, one of the many controversial topics in India today. The more adverse the challenges, the more active Sandbox Collective becomes.
As artists, we always found that we were struggling. There's always the establishment that makes it difficult for artists. So now that we are here, we go all the way. And what do we want to see? We want to see a place, a world where we are free, where artists can express themselves without fear of who's going to get arrested for what you say, sing, dance. That's the world that we want. We want a world that is more equal, a world that is inclusive, a world that's more compassionate.
Sandbox Collective receives this year's Goethe Medal for their courage and ambitions, providing the impetus for many new projects.